Are you interested in the current state of the health industry? Want to know more about nutrition, natural medicine, holistic healthcare, and more? You're in the right place. Welcome to Nutrition Prescription with your host, integrative health and nutrition coach, Angela Atkins. She dishes the dirt on a bunch of health topics with a social consciousness flair. Here's Angela.
Welcome, everybody. This is Angela Atkins of Your Health Unbound, and this is another episode of Nutrition Prescription. And today I am so excited to welcome my guest, Kwavi.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Kwavi. Let me give you an introduction here so people know all about you. Kwavi is a midlife lifestyle coach who specializes in helping bright, successful women in their 40s and above manage their health, mindset, and waistlines. She's an advocate for body acceptance and loving yourself from the inside out. Well, that's just beautiful, Kwavi. That is wonderful. Tell us how you got to all this wonderful thinking.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so this started a long time ago because I'm 50 now. So this started when I was 18. While I was in college in England, I was trying to flip through the channels. And but mind you, back then there were only 3 channels. So I was kind of trying to figure out which one to watch. And then I stumbled upon this documentary, and they were talking about cattle and the whole process in which meat gets to your plate, basically. They kind of showed us that process. I'm telling you, I was so disgusted by the whole process. I was like, no, I can't. And right there and then, I just made that decision. I wasn't going to eat meat anymore. Now, it started with meat, and then something just kind of told me, why didn't you start investigating everything? So I started investigating bread, sugar, everything, the different coloring they would put in for the additives. And that just changed my whole thinking with regards to food. And I saw a difference in myself too. It was amazing.
I can imagine. I mean, food is medicine.
It is.
So if you're eating the right food, you're getting good medicine.
Right. And even though it was kind of crazy back then, most people thought, because I was in college, and, when you're in college, you do whatever. So people thought I was just strange. It's like, but the strange thing, the friends that knew me back then, they're like, wow, Kwavi, you were onto something back then. We just didn't know it,
It's funny. It does. When you have an enlightenment that other people your age don't have, when they finally come to that enlightenment, they go, oh, wow. You were trying to tell me that back then, and I didn't listen to you.
Yeah,
and now they're asking you about it all over again. It's like, hey, I could have saved you from that years ago.
Thank you. Yeah. But no, they were like, no, let's go let's eat whatever. We can. We're young. I'm like, okay, but you know what? I'll pass. I'll eat this other stuff.
Well, that's great. So now your focus is on helping women to thrive in midlife. So let's really get into the heart of this, because this is what I want people to understand, how you focus on midlife as an age to thrive. And it's not something that many women especially think of. When they get to midlife, they think, what's next? Or is that all there is?
Yeah.
So tell me about your philosophy.
Okay, so for me, and I think it just stemmed from the thought of, one thing that really came to mind was I was doing a Google search for something in midlife, and I just typed in midlife, and right after that came up with crisis.
Ooh.
And I was like, no, this is not, we don't have to think this way. I always believe we always have a choice. That's one thing I've always told my clients. Even when I used to show them how to live a healthy life, I always told them, don't tell me, I didn't know, I don't know. Like, they'll say things like, I had this, and I don't know why I did it. I'm like, no, you had a choice. You always have a choice. So with the midlife crisis thing, I thought, what? A lot of women, I've spoken to a lot of women, and like you said, a lot of them feel that midlife, it's over, not much is happening anymore. Society doesn't help. Culture doesn't help. Media doesn't help. So you have all these statements around you kind of pushing you towards, roll over and die, basically. Like, it's over for you. They don't really target you anymore. If you're not young, new, and improved, it's over. And I thought, no, it doesn't have to be this way. So really, I'm on a mission to really show women that there is so much more available to you in midlife. And first of all, to really think of midlife as a privilege. For you to get to this point, not everyone gets to this point. So you're in midlife, appreciate it, and then you can now open yourself to the possibilities of different things that are available to you, because there are so many things available to you in this age. It's just, I'm just so enthusiastic about this age. And my goal is to show other women that, you know what, this is a beautiful age. This is time where you can try and explore new things. It's just an amazing time.
Well, you can hear the passion clearly in your voice. And I must say, we agree wholeheartedly on this.
Yeah.
Because I myself found myself midlife, divorced with 3 children, a single mom. And I'd be like, what's next for me? You know, you're raising kids, and as a single parent, and most women will say this, their focus is their children.
Correct.
They focus their entire life on raising those children. And when they're raised, when they're grown and gone, now you go, what about me? Because you don't know what to do. You've waited so long, and you've put yourself, you've put yourself on the back burner, that you don't know what the next step is. And you and I agree, because I know with my clients, I do the same thing. I'm like, it's your time now. You come first.
Yeah. But I think also too, because they don't see that anywhere and no one tells them that, so they don't even know it's a possibility. So that's my goal, to really show women that there is opportunities available to them. There are so many possibilities for them to explore, but they have to put themselves in that position to explore it and be open-minded enough to even do it or think about it.
So does that come along with your idea of become a rookie?
Yes. And when I say become a rookie, I want you to try new things. Try new things, because it's okay that, oh, maybe, and I know a lot of people think about this, like sometimes when you're married, you have kids, you kind of focus more on your spouse or your kids. And there might be some things that you probably want to do, but you kind of let it go. You're like, nah, you know what? I'll just pass on that. So when I say become a rookie, go back to those things that you really, truly enjoyed. And maybe you just, for one reason or the other, you're like, no, I don't have time to do it because you had kids or the spouse or the family life, it wasn't convenient. But now you can do that. And becoming a rookie is such an exciting venture, because that, you're just exploring new things, and that activates the brain in a very different way. And you almost become alive, almost childlike in a way. And I just think that's just important for living vibrantly and just exploring new things. And midlife is it's a new chapter. Why don't you do that? So that's why I say become a rookie, because you can't be open about it, because it's going to be new to you. So even though you're in midlife, it's new to you, but you're kind of a rookie because you've never done that before.
And the one thing that I think that is very important, and you said it clearly, it's all going to be new to you. Mm-hmm. And that's a good thing, where many people get paralyzed by fear. Like they've reached midlife and the sense of mortality starts to set in, and they're fearful, like, I'm not old, I'm too old to do this. Right?
Thank you.
And no, I love the concept of become a rookie. Forget all that nonsense. You're only as old as you feel.
Yes.
The rest is just a number.
It's just a number. Really, it is. Forget about the age thing. And really, I know people will always say, oh, you're too old to do that. Says who?
Exactly. Says you. That's the problem.
That's it.
If you say it to yourself, then you really are. That's the problem. So you need to say to yourself, it's a mindset thing. You change your mindset. You get a new way of looking at things, and you say, now's my time. And I always say, it is not selfish to take care of yourself. It is absolutely a sign of self-respect.
Yes, it is. And it shows that you value who you are. You're placing a priority on who you are. And we always do this for others. We're doing it for everyone else, but it's like when it comes to ourselves, like, oh, no, I'll pass. I mean, no.
And that's a cultural convention. That's handed down to most women in raised. This is the way you become, a wife, a mother. You take care of everybody else. And it's also what they've seen in past generations.
Correct.
Mother and grandmother, they get older. They seem unhealthy. They're getting ready to die, kind of thing. And it is just a sad situation. It's time to turn that on its head.
Yeah, and that's my goal, to start changing that. One by one, women will come around, and it will kind of be like a domino effect. They'll impact others, and eventually it will change things. And the other thing that will change too, because when we change things, the media, society, ads will change too, because midlifers really have the buying power.
Absolutely,
we do. We have that. So if we can change that, then that's That would be a big change for everyone.
You see that in every generation. Whatever a generation thinks is beautiful or the next best thing, the media gets wrapped around it because that's where the dollars are.
Thank you.
And then people want certain things, and then suppliers supply them, the media supports them, and it's all becomes this push to the latest thing. So if we, because I would love to think that I'm on the same journey as you, if we get women embracing midlife as their time to thrive, then the media and every other vehicle out there is going to say, hey, this is a new thing for women. Let's get behind this.
Yep. And that's the goal. That's the goal. And women win that way. It allows us to really be true to ourselves, because sometimes when we're, raising kids, taking care of family, we kind of put a mask on to kind of fulfill all those needs. But then in midlife, that's the time to take it off and just be your true self, And
the other thing is that it teaches our daughters that they don't have to follow the old generation. They can be like us. They can begin to thrive, and they learn it sooner.
They learn it sooner.
Yes.
And also, too, I also think it's important because I have boys, for my boys to see this so that they know that, oh, wow, it's not, the woman's just when she gets a certain age, it's like, okay, it's over. They can see that. They can encourage that, too. And they'll come to expect that, as opposed to the norm now, where it's like, okay, it's over. You're tired and just, no.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. So tell me about, you say to forget the chapters. What do you mean by that?
And what I mean is, when you grow up, when you're a teenage, you finish high school, you finish college, there's kind of like steps they expect you to take. Midlife, forget about, I have to end this chapter and start anew. No. The rules are out the window. You create the rules. You determine. No one determines that for you. If you want to go write a book, go write a book. If you don't feel like it, don't do it. If you want to go on vacation, go ahead. You don't have to. If you want to wear an outfit, doesn't matter if people say, oh, that's not for you. You're not, middle age. You shouldn't be wearing that. Says who? All those are out the window. Throw away that you have to do it a certain way.
And I love that. And I'll tell you why. I was just listening to a local radio station, and they played this game in the morning while I was driving the car. And they said, call in and tell us what you're wearing and we'll guess your age. I thought, this is nonsensical. But it was hugely fun because, a woman would call in and describe her outfit, and it was very casual and flashy and seemed, and they were guessing she's very young, 28.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm 49. And I'm like, right on, girl. That's
love it. Exactly. But see,
it is a social convention. We would have expected her driving to work. She said she was driving to work to be in some sort of, pants outfit with a nice blouse. Right? No, she was ready to, she had salmon colored shorts on and some gray top, and she was all over the place. And I'm like, that's fantastic, because she's being herself. That's what I love. She's being herself.
The thing, because so many of us are walking around in, masking ourselves to other people. It's like we're not being our true selves. And it's such a exhausting feeling to do that day in and day out. So sustainable.
And you know what? We do that. We accept that without questioning it. Yeah. Whereas I think those women who question it step away from it a lot sooner.
Yeah,
they say,
that's it.
Why am I doing this? Who said it was this way? Because it doesn't make sense.
Thank you.
Does not make sense. So if nothing else, what you're saying is you have a choice.
You have a choice. You always have a choice. And the thing is, the unfortunate thing about having the choice is when you don't make it, someone else will make it for you.
That's an important point.
So you have to make a choice, and the choices they might make for you might not be what you want. But you didn't make a choice. You had a chance. So always try and make a choice, And it doesn't matter if you change it down the line. Okay, you can change it. It doesn't have to be this and then stay forever. No, you can decide, okay, I have this, and then change your mind and change to something else. That's always okay.
Right. And in business, I've heard before people say, make a decision, even if it's wrong, because it moves you forward.
Yes.
So it's the same way in life. Make a decision. At least you've made some decision. You move forward, and you learn from it, if nothing else.
Correct.
Oh, well, that didn't work the way I thought it was going to work, or I didn't enjoy it as much, but now that I see I have another option, let me try this.
Exactly.
It opens your mind to the new whatever it is, to new explorations.
Right.
Yeah, I've had a coach that constantly reminds me it's all about your personal evolution all the time. No matter what you're doing, have you evolved in some way? Did you do something today that helped you evolve? And that could be learning something new, having a new adventure, going somewhere. And that's really something that I don't think we address. I think we're so static. Get up, go to work, take care of the kids, the house, everything.
It's like,
we need to blow that up.
Yes, we do. Even the way you go to work, try a different way to get there. I went to South Carolina over the weekend and I took my kids. I had to drive. My husband was working, so I took the kids. And I particularly don't like driving long distance. But I said, okay, you know what? My husband can do this. I did it. And I was just so amazed to drive, because we had to drive from the hotel to the tournament, the soccer field. And it was just so beautiful to drive on the road that was not the highway. It was like 30 minutes. It was just so beautiful. I mean, I saw a field. I saw a house. I mean, it just opens up your mind when you see something different. There's just some type of excitement that you get and feel when you do something different. And it could be something, I mean, mine was very simple. It was just the road that was different, but it was a 2-lane road. It was, I mean, I don't see much of that in Atlanta, you know?
But you bring up a very important point. Many people are on the road every single day, and they are just blindly driving. I mean, yes, they see the other cars, they know where they're going, but they're getting there without thinking about it and without experiencing it. So what you suggest is take another route. One, because you have to pay more attention.
Yes, you do.
You have to make sure you make all the right turns and you don't miss something. And two, you'll see the scenery. Yes. Because as you're paying attention, you're like, oh, look at the trees in bloom, or look at the flowers over there. Oh, so-and-so has a really nice garden today.
Yeah.
Things you probably wouldn't have seen if you drove that same route that you always had.
Yeah.
So again, making the choice to do something different takes you out of that dull existence that you get. I think many women, and I have seen this, many women get to 50s, 60s and beyond, and they become depressed, and they don't realize it's because they feel like they've lost their opportunities.
I agree.
So what we're saying is you have all those opportunities starting here, starting now, starting today.
That's right.
Something, anything. Just do it.
Just do it, because what you said is true. I mean, regret is just a terrible feeling to experience. So now you have that time, like Angela said, you can do it now. You can try it. It might not work out, but at least you tried it, right?
Exactly. And you won't know whether you like it or not until you do try it. You can say, I don't think I'll like it, but you may find some piece of that experience actually is enjoyable. And you're like, well, maybe I won't do the first part, but that second part was really good. So I'm going to go back and do that again.
Yeah.
It again, find something that grows you, whatever it is.
That's it. Grows you. Yes, that's true. Because new things allow you to grow.
Right.
If you stay stagnant, you're not growing.
No. And really, when you look at it, it's like cells. If cells don't continue to grow, they die off.
They die off.
We're a collection of cells. We have to keep growing. It's not. Yes, life can be difficult. We can be in difficult situations, but what we make of it, what that choice is, really makes a difference in what our life quality will be.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because circumstances will change, but how we think about it enables us to make a choice. So it's up to us. Are you going to think negatively about it, positively? How are you going to think about it? Because we all go through different things happen. Like you said, some good, some bad. But then what are the choices that we make when we, encounter those difficulties? Right. What are the choices? And we always have a choice. What choice are we going to make?
Right. And so when you say it's a privilege, what are you speaking of? The choice that you make, or just the life that we have?
Oh, it's a privilege to be in midlife, because you might not even be here. The alternative is not very appealing.
Right.
You've reached this point. For one thing, just be grateful that you're here. So you have this opportunity, you're alive, and you can change things. If you feel, you know what, you're not as healthy as you want to be, you can change it. And I really believe midlife is life's way of telling you, buckle up. Like whatever you've been doing before might have worked, but guess what? Now it's different. So you have the opportunity to explore like, oh, am I eating well? Am I exercising more? What are my choices for my career, family life, relationships? This is the time to explore those options and decide, I don't like how this is working. I can change this. You have that choice. I think sometimes we don't realize the power we have. We don't realize it. We give it away.
I agree with you. There are a few things that people don't realize. One is you have the greatest power over yourself.
Yes.
No matter what anybody says, you can working for somebody else, you can be living with somebody else, you still have the greatest power over yourself.
You do.
And two, you had touched on it just momentarily there about gratitude. Every morning I wake up, the first thought in my mind is, thank you, Lord, for giving me another day.
That's it.
And if nothing goes right that day, I've already been grateful that I had that day.
Yes.
And then at the end of the day, before I fall asleep, I say, thank you, Lord, for giving me this day.
Yes.
And whether or not you believe in a higher power, you still can be grateful.
That's it.
Be grateful to whatever. Just the act of gratitude actually is very healing and very uplifting.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. It is. Because you know what? I don't care what kind of circumstance you're going through. There is something you can be grateful for. There is one thing you can be grateful for.
Because I am not a morning person, that's why I start my day with thank you for giving me one day. Because I don't have to think about it, but I do feel it. So
yes.
I think having the intention is a lot easier for me because I know for me, it is the one thing that is so very tangible.
Right.
I mean, this is another day that I can make or break, so just get out there and do it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. So any bits of advice you want to give midlifers?
Well, like what I said before, I think we really need to realize that we have power. Don't give it away. Don't give your power away to someone else so that they're making the choices for you. You have that power. And I really want midlifers to realize that this is a new beginning, a chance for you to explore new things, opportunities, maybe some desires you had way back that you kind of put on the back burner. Revisit those. Bring them up. Look at them. Write them down. And then I believe there's so much power in writing things down.
I agree. Down. Absolutely.
And start to go through them and decide, okay, maybe I'll do this for this year or for this number of months, but have a plan for that, so that you can start to see. And then it's so exciting when you write them down and you look back and you're like, these are coming, these are coming true. And now it looks like then you can go to the next one and the next one. It's just such an exciting feeling. I just want midlifers to know that this is not the end. This is a new beginning. And there are so many opportunities ahead of them, regardless of your circumstance, regardless.
I agree with you 100%. I mean, you said it very clearly. And because you are very focused on what you're doing, you have brought together a bunch of experts in an online summit that I want you to share with our listeners, because I think this is a great opportunity for people to learn more how to tap into thriving in midlife.
Great. So when I turned 50 in March, I had a lot of discussions with different midlifers. And the common theme was, this life is over, not much happened, And I was like, no. So I was determined. I said, you know what? I want to make it my mission to inform more women about the opportunities of thriving in midlife so they can embrace midlife and thrive through it. So I decided I will get other people involved who were experts in different fields, because I think when it comes to midlife, there's so many things going on with us, whether it's medically, food-wise, mindset. I mean, there's just so many, whether it's marriage, because midlife marriage is a totally different situation, different things, sex. I mean, there's so many different things, menopause. I mean, there's just so many different things. So I brought about 28 experts in different areas, and they are going to speak about different areas of midlife. And it's just a way for me to allow midlifers to be informed so that they can learn more, so they can find ways. Maybe they can find a little piece of whatever it is they get from one of the interview sessions to allow themselves to just think differently. Because I think once you start to think differently, you can now start to explore like, oh, maybe I can do this, and see that other women are behind you. We're all going through stuff, really. It's not, it's not all, yay, all the time. But when we know better, we do better. That's the thing.
Absolutely.
I mean, that is just the way it is. I mean, I learned so much even when I was interviewing these women. I was like, oh, that happens? Oh, I didn't know that happens in midlife. But they also gave solutions. They also gave steps of what things that you can do. And these are things that you can do right now in your homes towards embracing midlife and thriving through it. So I'm very excited about this summit. It's going to be exciting.
I'm excited too. I mean, I'm thrilled that you asked me to be part of it.
I'm so glad you accepted too.
It was wonderful. I really enjoy having a conversation with you. And we're going to put all the information for the summit with this podcast. All you have to do is click through the link and register. It's all free online.
Free online, yes.
Don't miss it. When does it begin?
It begins on the 17th of September through the 27th of September.
Excellent. So you have time now to register. Do that. Don't think about it. Just click the link and go to it now, and then you'll get email informing you of each of the interviews, and they're going to be so much information. So powerful.
Yeah. And just set aside time to watch them and listen to them. It's not going to be too time consuming because I know we're all busy. But you can find time just to do it and just, learn and share it with others too. So others can learn, because the more women that can be impacted by this, the more we can change the perception of midlife.
Yeah, it's time to change society's society's view of women in midlife.
Yes.
They're vital, vibrant, healthy.
I mean, look at us. We're excited.
We're having a great time.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I want to thank you, Kwavi, for being here. It's been great. I've really enjoyed our discussion, and I'm certain our listeners are going to love everything that they find on the summit. And so before we go, again, the title of your summit is?
Midlife Thriving.
Midlife Thriving. So you'll find the link to the Midlife Thriving Online Summit with this podcast. Click the link, sign up, and then listen to the different interviews every day, and I think you'll get a wealth of information.
Yeah,
so
and
thank you,
too. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks.
So thank you, everybody, for joining us for this episode of Nutrition Prescription. And until next time, be well.
Thanks so much for listening to Nutrition Prescription with your host, Angela Atkins. Find her online at yourhealthunbound.com, Twitter at Angela C. Atkins, and Facebook.com/Angela Atkins HN Coach. We'll see you next time.